Alright, so here's how this is going to be. Without hitting the dog, hopefully. So you're going to work with the hula hoop. The iron rings is a skill, it is a style, it is a technique, and you're going to have to learn it from someone else. But from what I learned, I can teach you how to use the iron ring. What you see here is the shield. It's protecting, it's going all over my body. It's not really protecting my lower half, but it can go there. So, when you learn the iron ring technique, it looks a whole lot better when you actually have an iron ring versus this giant ass hula hoop that's getting snagged in my ponytail. Boom, 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 boom. See the transition? The iron ring's a little bit smaller and a little bit thicker. It's big enough to go around your body, but it's small enough for you to maneuver. Then you have the rings that go around your wrist. Also part of the same training, but those were basically used as shields against swords. Recommend it? Fuck no. It's a sword. Those things are like individual. So if that sword happens to miss one and happens to nail something fatal, then you're probably going to die. So, but for here, it's all good. Good girl. She's actually smart enough to get out. You can also use the hula hoop in the crane, or the iron ring in the crane. You can use it for tiger. You can use it for dragon. The iron ring is definitely made for smaller people. I don't think it's going to work for somebody who's about the size of the rock. But they are able to get them adjusted. The hula hoop does not work as effectively as the iron rings. So it looks like a dance and everything, but it's more or less, you know, iron rings. Technically that was a hula hoop, but you get the gist. Now, for all you novice, Pitbull has left the building. This is a bamboo bow staff, which I just dropped. So, okay, the tape's not allowing that trick to happen. Okay, outside that would have worked. Can't go outside. I just stepped in a big old pile of crap. So yeah, had to change shoes and everything. So let's work on bow staffs. Block, 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 block. Strike, 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 strike. Now, what you just saw was bullshit. Not the blocking part. Not the striking part. This part. I don't know anybody who's gotten into a fight with a bow staff and actually had the time to do this. Now granted, this part you can probably get away with. Block, 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 block. Those are easy. This here, the whirling, I like to call that exercise. So when you see me doing it, it's basically exercise. Yes, it does build momentum. But you have a bow staff. How much momentum do you really think it requires to hurt someone with your reach this far out? So you have my arm times the length of this staff. Now, the question is, how many kicks am I going to need? Because even though you have a bow staff, you still have to deal with the fact that you may have to use your feet. Right? Sorry, got distracted by Days of Our Lives. The show I would love to be on, by the way. So, the guys right here, boom, boom, that's pretty much all you're going to need. You're not going to need to kick them, because that attack would look like this. Gut, they bend over, you catch them in the chin. So that would be boom, boom. You know, it's pretty much a done deal. That you're going to hit them, they're going to bend over, and they're going to do this. Now, let's say, for instance, you're fighting a TIE fighter. That might not hurt them. Now, if legends are true, and the whole body beating for hours to toughen up the skin thing works, well, it's a good chance that you, boom, hitting them in the stomach may not hurt them. But the thing about pain, and the thing about directness, and the thing about what can and cannot work, is that I don't give a damn who you are. If I hit you right, you're going to feel it. Boom, boom. So that's simple. Same thing. Boom, boom. Yeah, you want to keep it simple. You don't want to be doing this. You don't have time for that. Someone's trying to hurt you. Sidestep, boom, boom. Sidestep, boom, boom. You have a bow staff. Boom, boom, boom. Now this whirling thing, it looks cool. Because it's cool. The reality is, you're not going to get the chance to use that. 1 second. Get down here. Come on. Sorry, the pit bull is scared of the stick too. So, in fighting now, let's keep it real. Alright? Boom, boom, that's pretty much it. Boom, boom, same shit. Boom, 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 boom. You have to understand, this thing has range. Alright? As a martial artist, especially for people just starting, I always recommend the bow staff. When people laugh about that shit, it's like, I want to work the cool weapons. Like the iron rings. Yeah, well, I don't blame you. But until you level up, this bitch right here is your saving grace. Alright? And let me explain why I say it's your saving grace. whether it's the bow staff or the monkey stick, you got range. And when you have range, you don't have to worry about getting in close to deliver a kick. You know, you have range. You have a stick. It is far enough out there where if someone's that far up to you, you've got them. If you have a stick and they get in close, you've pretty much screwed up. That's on you. Which goes back to sidestep and strike. Now, the power of a sidestep is very, very powerful. A lot of martial artists refuse to acknowledge the power of a sidestep. Sidestep, ridge hand. Sidestep, ridge hand. Sidestep, knee. Sidestep, knee. That was more like a jumping knee, and I screwed up on my sidestep. I ain't gonna lie about it. I screwed up on my sidestep. So it should have been a sidestep, then knee, instead of that. Now, if you watched my video last night, which was like an hour and some change. Come on. You're safe. If you watched my video last night with no dogs in it, and it was like an hour and some change on YouTube. I don't know how long I was on Instagram for, but if you watched it, you'll understand that there are a lot of things you can do with knees and elbows. Should be 3 parts of this video on YouTube right now. But the thing is, when you have a weapon becomes a part of your skill set. A weapon becomes a part of you. This here is exercise. Twirling your bow staff is exercise. Twirling your nunchucks is exercise. Now, we'll give you some defects right now. If you're in a sword fight and you have a sword versus a sword, you're in pretty good shape as long as your fencing game is up to par. And your striking game is up to par. Now, the chances of you surviving a sword fight, if you don't know what you're doing, with all of your parts intact, are slim. So if I had to fight somebody who has a sword, and all I have is this bow staff, I have to have my fencing par up to spot too. And I know what you're thinking. How can you fence with a bow staff? What the hell do you think this is? You're fencing. It's the same thing if you had a pike. The pike has a spear tip on the end. It's funny looking. So one is like down and over, and the other one is up with like a hook. There's more than one type of pike. But for piking, get it in. You have range. The pike stick is way longer than this. Alright? The pike stick is almost as long as the monkey stick, excuse me. So you have this much range plus a blade on the end. So you have a spear. If you're doing the majestic spear, it's the same thing. With the bow staff, it just has a spear on the end. And you're not going to be doing this with the majestic spear. Alright? With the bow staff, okay, you can get a hall pass. With a majestic spear, no. Because one, the stick is like from here to here, and then you have the spear and the tassel. You have to take all that stuff into accountability on where you are whirling it. So, majestic spear and pike, I just stabbed you. I don't need to use my hands and feet when I have the majestic spear unless I'm doing a gliding attack. It looks more cuter when those chicks from Wushu do it. Shout out to the girls from Wushu. But, I'm dueling, I can do it that way. I can leap, extending the leg. I can leap, extending the leg. I can do that. That'll look better from this side. A lot of things you can do with the majestic spear. A lot of things you can do with a simple wooden stick, which is basically what the bow staff is. The bow staff has been known to hurt, mangle, and kill people for Chinese Kung Fu. Without all of this. Now that looks cool. You can't say here that it doesn't. You can't look me in the face and say, that sucked. But if you do it, then it looks cool. It looks cool no matter who's doing it. They're doing this one. Not that one. That didn't look cool at all. Let's try it again. See the transition? Hit myself in the thigh. This is also the reason why I prefer to not use weapons at all. That was not purposely done, people. I hit myself in the thigh the first time, it hurt like shit. Hit myself in the knuckles, it hurts. So let's try a third time. Recovery. See the transitions? Yeah, the thing is, like I said, you're rarely going to get the chance to do that in a fight. Unless that guy's coming into the bow staff, so he's attacking you, he's swinging his bow, boom, there's your first block, there's your second block, there's your low, boom. Now if it's two, let's say he's working a double bow, yeah, he's got like the chance to go here and in here, so you're going to block. He's got short sticks, right? So boom and boom at the same time, boom, there's your blocks, boom, but he's going to have to be in really close to those short sticks. So your job is to keep him at bay right there. You can keep your opponent at arm's distance times the staff, you're in good shape. Boom, boom, boom. You know, so he swings, block, block, boom. You know, other side, block, block, boom. Now the thing about the bow staff is that you don't always have to do everything with the right and the left because you're conjoined and you're going to do everything either way. But the bow staff is conventional, is unconventional at the same time. You put a spear on the end of it, now you have a spear. But as a bow staff, no matter what you have on the end of it, it's a long-range weapon. So if you're a martial artist with little to no skills, bow staff, best weapon you can ever learn. Because if your skills don't improve, you'll always be able to fall back on this bow staff. You know, and you can fall back on the bow staff, bam, boom, you know, boom, boom. You're not going to need close quarters with a bow staff. However, in this small area, you may want to learn the size and the shape of your bow staff. The standard bow is not this. I'm 5'3". This would probably be a 2-year-old's bow, because that would be like the 2-year-olds down here, and the bow would be 4 feet. Alright, so a 2 or 3-year-old bow, they can use the 3 to 4 foot bow, because you want your bow to be slightly taller than you. If I'm wrong, and any of you martial artists disagree with that I'm wrong on that size and that character of bow staff, then I apologize. But I would never give a 4 or 5-year-old who's smaller than me anything bigger than this. I would not give a 3-year-old, because a lot of Chinese families start their kids at 3 and 2. I would not give a 3-year-old or 2-year-old a staff bigger than this. Now if they're 13, they wouldn't get anything this small. I want them to have at least a 6-foot staff, especially if they're like me, 5'3". A 6-foot staff would basically be standard for them, because that would give them their arm times the distance of that staff, which gives them long enough range for them to know what to do and what not to do. Now, all weapons aside, I would prefer you pick up your physical skills. Not with the weapon, but you being the weapon. That tape cut my finger. Sorry, might be a paper cut. Anyway, I don't know where the wipes are. Hold on, wipes are right here. If I freak out, it's probably because I'm going to start bleeding when I find the damn cut. I'm kidding. It might have just been a scratch. You're not coming out. You don't need to come out. You just went to the bathroom like 15 minutes ago and you haven't had anything to drink. Actually, you may have drunk all that water that I left in there, because I am just that damn dumb. Anyway. Let's get started on the real good shit now. Your martial art kicks and punches. I gotta stop this for Kung Fu Havoc number 2, and restart. So Instagram.